Our next shape that we're going to be learning about the area for is parallelograms. So a parallelogram is a four-sided 2D figure that has opposite sides that are parallel. So this is what people usually think about when they think of a parallelogram, but actually there are a number of shapes that actually are considered a parallelogram because of their characteristics. So a rectangle is also a parallelogram because it is four-sided and both of the opposite sides are parallel. A square is also a parallelogram because it has those same characteristics, and then a rhombus is a parallelogram as well. So we're going to figure out how to do the area of a parallelogram, so sometimes this can be a little bit trickier since it's not as straight sides as like a rectangle would be, but it is a similar way to find it. So the area of a parallelogram can be found in the same way as a rectangle. So in the image below that I put down here, you can see how a parallelogram can be turned into a rectangle as long as it has the same base and height. So the formula for area of a parallelogram is base times height. So in this image, they literally just took off this triangle piece and moved it to this side. So they just took it off right here and put it right there, and it just made it into this rectangle right over here. So when you think about it like that, you really can do it in the same exact way as you would a rectangle. So here's the first parallelogram I made, and when we're looking at the height, we're just gonna chop it off right here where I put this little black line, and so I put the height here as 4 centimeters, and then the base down here is 9 centimeters. So let's go to the next one. So I have that labeled out, so the base and the height. So the area, we're going to do the same way as we did before. So we're using the same formula, and we just move these down. So we plug them into the formula, base times height. So we have 4 centimeters times 9 centimeters. And when you multiply that, you get 36 centimeters. And since we are doing area, which is measured in square units, we can't forget our centimeters squared. So here's the next example I have, and we're going to do this the same way. So we're going to measure the height by this white line that goes from the top base to the bottom of the base, and that height is 6 inches, and we have the base up here measured as 4 inches. So remember how we're getting this with the base times height. We're basically just taking off this triangle and putting it right here instead. So it would look like this, and it would just be the same as a rectangle. So we're going to use the same formula again. Area equals base times height. Our base equals 4 inches, and our height equals 6 inches. So our area equals 4 inches times 6 inches. And when you multiply those, you're going to get 24 inches squared. And remember to always keep your units.